Yo, it's me. It's Vinny G. Coming at you live on day 16. Coming up here at the close of day 16. Thank God. Today is Wednesday, and for those of you who've been following me for these past 2 weeks, you know that Wednesday is a day of rest, and well-deserved one. It's been a rough week. Aunt went in for surgery for cancer. Surgery was mostly successful. She's still got a little ways to go, but we're happy with her progress thus far. Found out one of my kids went to the hospital over the weekend. One of the kids I work with at my job, and glad that we may have him back tomorrow or perhaps Friday. Either way, to know that he's home from the hospital and doing all right, that's good. But it has been something of a nerve-wracking week thus far. And this is definitely a hump day that I'm glad to put behind me. Today got my juicer. It was the Hamilton Beach juicer recommended to me by Steve Flynn. If you haven't checked out his videos, you really need to. I have found how much of a pain in the butt juicing can be. There's a lot of cleanup, a lot of prep to go involved, but it is definitely worth it. I would say that when you put any fruit or vegetable in there, do not expect a massive amount of juice out of just one single piece of fruit. It's going to take multiple stuff. So if you are getting into juicing, be prepared to buy a lot of produce. But that's all right. Do what you need to get healthy, and obviously stay within your budget. Too many people these days limit outside their budget and getting into trouble financially. So tonight was DDP Yoga radio night, and of course I called in to let Jake know how I was doing. Jake, Sparky, Stephanie, and Rob on there. Not Rob from DDP Yoga versus Rob, but a different Rob. And it was good to talk to him, but I'd like to take a moment just to talk about a young lady who called in, and she got on the air just right before me. Her name is Christine Berkman, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. And Chris, if I butchered that, I do apologize. She was talking about her struggles, and she got a little emotional, and I'm not going to lie, it choked me up a little bit. And she was talking about, the nutrition plan and difficulties with that. So for anyone who's, getting into this or having problems with it, I would say that while I am no expert or guru on the subject myself, because I'm not slim by any means, I have found that one of the reasons why I have not strayed too far off of this nutrition plan is basically because it's a lifestyle change, and B, I'm not depriving myself. Obviously there's certain things I've gotten rid of, like junk foods and sodas, and there are times when I do have cravings for those things. We keep soda things in my room to keep them out of the hands of my grandfather, because he'll just knock them back like they were going out of style. So these things stare me in the face every day, and I have gotten to the point now where I don't care about soda. It really just doesn't interest me anymore. Not as much as it used to anyway. This morning I gave up coffee, and it wasn't as hard a switch as I thought it was going to be. I thought I was going to be dragging all day, but with a healthy lunch and some fresh juice I had today, it wasn't too terrible. So you make up for it where you can, and for the things that you miss. And the important thing is that you don't ever want to deprive yourself, is because when you get to that point and you're taking yourself away from food and you're hungry constantly, or you're craving something, like you just have to have it because you've gotten rid of so much stuff, I think you set yourself up for failure. And I think that's one of the problems I've had before, where I've done these diets or nutrition plans, whatever you want to call them, and not being able to eat anything that I liked was a big letdown. So I'm happy with the results thus far. I haven't strayed too far off. I've had 1 or 2 days in there where I had to either because of what was put in front of me, I had to cheat a little bit, or, you know, I was just in a situation where, there wasn't a lot to choose from. But I haven't, binged, or, in the middle of the night gone underneath the sink to find a bag of Cheetos or a bag of Doritos. Like, oh, I gotta have it. So yeah, Christine, the biggest thing is don't deprive yourself. Believe in yourself. Look for your support system whenever you're having a moment of weakness. And, just, eat on an even keel. Have a breakfast, a lunch, a dinner. Have each of those meals be sensible and fitting to what you're trying to accomplish. And in the middle, have, good snacks, fruit, nuts, things of that nature. Stuff that's not going to kill your, your caloric intake or anything of that nature. Just, try your best. And, anytime that you have doubts, or you just kind of like, oh, I'm having too much trouble with this, I need to eat something. Remember that even if you have a misstep, it's never a total failure unless you decide, oh, I made a mistake, I can't go on. It's the day that you put down everything and you stop trying to better yourself is the day that you truly fail. So, always pick yourself back up out of the dirt and get back on the horse. And just remember, no one's going to hold it against you for having a moment of weakness, because we all have them. So, so I'm hoping that if you're watching this, this helps you, and I hope anyone else is watching it, they can see that, I'm a big guy, I like my food, I like my sodas, I like all sorts of stuff that's not healthy for me, and yet, here I am on day 16, and I really haven't had too much of a problem changing the way I eat, and changing what I eat, and changing, getting rid of junk food, and I've had, some success with that. So, if you're watching this, you're having troubles, just remember everything I've talked about, and, adapt it to what works for you, because that's the most important thing. What works for me is not necessarily going to work for someone else. So, in closing, I just want to say thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following me. Thanks for the support. And if you guys ever need anything in the ways of support, don't ever hesitate to, shoot me a message here on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on teamddpyoga.com. I mean, if you need to talk to someone that bad, hell, I'll even give you out my phone number so we can chat. And, you can just vent. I'm available most of the day. And if you don't get me, I will try and get back to you. So, thanks for watching, guys, and have a good evening.